Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, God damn it, welcome in the immortal world of Cold Chisel. It's Saturday night here in Melbourne. Saturday night, and we are here to watch a little more APAI. This match tonight is between Chimera and GBI. It's going to be fought over. It's going to be fought over Hurtgen Forest. So I'm fucking excited to get into this. I hope you guys are too. So welcome to everyone joining us. As always, however, I have one of my favorite co-casters in the goddamn world. Let's go over and have a look. It is BlueRoseJelly. Blue, I think they did tell me I was supposed to be impartial and I was not allowed to play favorites. So I guess moving on, let's get a question for you. What's your favorite toasted sandwich?
Ooh, bring the tough questions straight away. I'm gonna say leftovers. So baked dinner, whatever's left over, lots of gravy over the top, toasted. It's so good.
Oh, and might have to end the cast now. I need to go make myself one. That sounds goddamn delicious. Blue, how the hell are you? It is a pleasure to have you around here today.
Yeah, doing good. It's really sunny, so I've got all the curtains drawn, and I'm hoping the glare won't get me in about 10 minutes.
Well, it looks good for now. Hopefully you can still see the match when we get into it. Blue's going to be running my second camera. And obviously, she's a damn good co-caster. You can go catch her stuff over at twitch.tv/BlueRoseJelly. She's got a good thing going on over there. And it's well worth a follow and a watch if you get a chance. Blue, I know we'll get to talking about today's game in a sec. But I'm joining you on your channel tomorrow to cast a game for the APAI. Which game are we casting?
We've got the 10th Mountain and Evo tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
1400? I think the stream will be live about 15 minutes after that, if I'm not mistaken. I am often mistaken. Yep. Dude, I'm excited. There's some big matches coming up, but we should get on to the match today. The game we're going to be playing today is between GBI and Chimera, two of the big boys in the OCE community. Obviously, Chimera has been doing some big things in the international scene. They're currently in the seasonal competition, which should excite everybody, having an OCE team in that competition. And they're doing some pretty good things there. GBI, Garrybusters, if you want to say it the other way. Obviously, a server we like playing on. A bunch of good blokes. What do you say about these two teams? I'm genuinely interested to see how this go. Blue, have you seen either of these teams play previously?
Yes, so I did the GBI versus Outpost BHB one last week, and I've seen a lot of Chimera play with the HCA, so I will be interested to see what they do on this map, because I don't think I've seen them play on this map yet.
No, and neither have I. Well, look, and that's why I was really glad to have you around here, because OPBHB is a bit of a blind spot for me. I did watch your cast, but look, genuinely happy to have somebody along that knows them a little better than me. Well, I guess I'm on your stream, so you know what I mean. God damn it. But today, GBI and Chimera, god damn, this is the big match of the weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. Just whilst we're on it, OPBHB are playing a friendly scrim between our clan Blue tomorrow, the Fuck You Boys. Which is a conglomerate between OC and the Foy Boys. And I'm going to be casting that with your friend and mine, Charmin Talk. Is making her co-caster debut, so I'm a little bit excited to see that. What are we doing now? We're just waiting for the lads to start filtering in, so we're watching up there. In the meantime, sit back, relax, get yourself a can if you haven't got one, or if you're not drinking. I don't know what the hell non-drinkers drink, but I'm on the Red Bull.
I've got my coffee sitting right there, so we're all good.
I feel like... So I had the coffee this morning, and the coffee I do is... it's, you know those stovetop pots that's supposed to make about 6 coffees? I just have one of them, and I put it into a mug. Yeah. People wonder why I have so much energy. That's probably got something to do with it, to be fair, and to be honest.
Caffeine, yeah.
Right. There we go. Fair. We're in. Some of the lads are starting to filter in. So, I don't know. If you're not doing anything else, Blue, I think I might grab myself a cheeky locked armor squad and jump into a little bit of admin cam action. And let's get this goddamn match underway. See that? That's what excitement looks like. There we go. A little bit of that.
I'm excited for this. I love the casting. I've had some tank lessons, and I've been very diligent in my tank lessons. But when they're like, "Oh, can you hear that? That's a 76," and I go, I hear a tank. Other than that, I'm not sure. But flying around in admin cam and then being like, oh, there's a muzzle brake on the 76, but there's not on the 75. And then, 100 meters in the air, it's just so much easier to look at the tank. You do this spin, your 360 around it. It's way less stressful than trying to peer around the side of a bush and not get shot in the face. So I'm getting better on my tank identification. And the other day I pinged a greyhound and I went, oh, the greyhound on my ping. And they were very excited that it didn't just say tank. So
yeah, I did the same thing. I think I've said it on this stream a lot, but basically I had Kingsley as a co-caster, a known tanker for Foy Boys. And I was just absolutely worried that I'd get it wrong. So I sat down and I looked at pictures of tanks for, I reckon, about 3 hours before doing one of these casts.
Oh, yeah.
But looks like Chimera have got their way in.
My tank spotters guy that I've been flicking through. Yeah, and I have the Panzer 4 mouse pad as well. So we're all good to go.
You've got yourself sorted.
Get one wrong.
Chimera looks like they've spawned in, so we're going to get in, watch a little bit of pre-match shenanigans. You guys don't need to look at our faces anymore. BlueRoseJelly, God damn it, get your camera sorted and let me know if you see anything weird happening on the GBI side. But for the moment...
Team killing. That's what I see. Lots of smoke.
It's always one of those weird moments when you don't know the rules of the server, is will I get booted for team killing before a competitive match? I do worry every time I put down a satchel that I know is going to get the majority of my team genuinely murdered. GBI look like they're in. We could be almost go for the start of this match. I'm excited.
It's going to be good, I think. How many wins have we got? I think Chimera have one. Have they played yet, or were they playing the bye last week?
They had the bye week 1. So Chimera played last week and came away with a brutal win. So they are currently 1-0, but so are GBI. GBI with the 1 loss, though, losing to OPBHB last week. This shit's exciting. I know, I'm excited.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of smoke going on. I'm not seeing any satchels, though, which is a little bit disappointing. I do love a good pre-match satchel. Perhaps what
I want the team killing. Come on, the pre-match team, obligatory team killing. Where is it?
Apparently, we're doing a circle crawl. I've never seen this before, but I'm genuinely interested. Chimera pre-match, obviously, following each other around. Is it like some sort of weird OCE version of Duck, Duck, Goose? I don't know, but they've decided not to do any more. They're just going to stand in the smoke, obviously, so I can't see them. Map is due to roll any second now. I don't know. God damn it. Let's get into it, boys and girls. Ladies and goddamn gentlemen. Whew. I'll tell you what, though. This looks like this looks like the start of a footy match. I don't know if you've ever seen. It's all sort of huddling up. Are they standing in line? What are we doing? We're all crouching. We're having a bit of a huddle.
They want a photo. That looks... is that a photo? It looks like photo ops, but they've just all gathered. I've never seen that before.
Look at the coordination early from Chimera. I wonder if this is going to help them. Obviously, the tankers staying out of this infantry scrum, as tankers tend to do, obviously, standing above everyone else, like they're better than everyone else. What even is this? God damn it, tankers. Get into that and get yourselves in, man. There you go, the commander sitting up there. That is Electro. I don't know who is going to be commanding today. If it is Electro, good luck to him. That is a Panzer IV. Look at that. Good damn it. Stream is live. I know you guys are hearing this like 15 minutes later, but I know how these things are. Look at this. Obviously, we don't have comms, but they're all taking a knee. I kind of like this as a pre-game ritual. I like it.
It's the calm before the storm.
It is, isn't it? They're showing composure. Ooh.
I just realized I didn't do all my audio, the things I have not done. Wait, I need to change my nameplate icons from 10% to 100. That would be good.
Perfect. Love your work. I appreciate you doing all this work for us, BlueRoseJelly. Welcome everybody else that's joining the stream. We are moments away from the start of this match. We're 2 minutes late, but we're moments away. As soon as the map rolls, we're going to see the start of this match. And I don't know about you guys. This is going to be an absolute cracker of the match. I don't know which way this one's going to go. You'd say Blue. I'd say Chimera probably has the edge given the amount of competitive play they've been doing lately. But GBI, never a team to let up on a fight. This is great. This is great. Actually excited.
So organized. They're just chilling there, organized. It's fantastic. Never said that. That's just hilarious. I have a feeling they're just waiting for a photo.
Well,
They'll screenshot it later.
They can screenshot absolutely anything they like out of this one. Candy Rocks followers, it's a goddamn pleasure. Thank you very much. Rockets going off. Looks like the lads are getting antsy. The lads are getting restless. They want a match, and you know what, boys and girls, so do I. Oh, let's get into it.
I'm half expecting there to be like just someone pull out a grenade and just hold it, and we'll be good.
100%. Map has been changed. 25 seconds, and we're going to get back into this. BlueRoseJelly, at the start of the match, can I get you to check over GBI and let me know how their pre-match setup's going? I'll do the same over in Chimera, and we'll see how each of these obviously seasoned competitive teams take to the start of the match. 10 seconds, and we are going to get into a little bit of competitive hell let loose. God damn it. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's goddamn go.
Gonna be good.
That is the map. They've got the right map, Hurtgen Forest. We don't need to re-roll because we are going to keep going with this one. I'm going to grab myself a cheeky armor squad as soon as a few of them are filled out. There we go. Create locked armor squad. Das is good, yeah. And we're going to go down the bottom spawn.
Just going to wait a sec till they all find a spot.
There we go. Let's have a look at what the start of the match looks like for Chimera. What you expect to see, SEO Trite, looking forward to the game. So am I, my guy. Thank you very much. Thank you for the sub. Good Lord, I didn't even realize that. There you go. Lots of nodes going down. Looks like they've got their shit together. What you generally see at the start of the match, and what is normal, is each team wants to get all of their nodes down as quickly as humanly possible. So what you'll see is a lot of support spawning in, dropping their supplies, helping to build, and then redeploying as soon as possible. Nosty number 92, thank you very much for subbing with Prime. It is a goddamn pleasure to have you around. You're a damn good egg. I'll tell you what, this Chimera team has got their shit together, aside from that guy walking into the blueprint, but they're going to get going. Basically, what happens from here is you'll usually see a couple of OPs being put down towards this front line, up where the invisible wall, the historically accurate visible wall goes down, and then the rest of the squads will be able to spawn in. BlueRoseJelly, are you seeing what they're doing at the start? Because I might just pop over to your camera and have a look at what their GBI boys are doing at the start of the match.
Yeah, so I'm currently looking at their nodes being put up. They've got the 3 sets. I think 2 of them are done. One's being fixed, so that's good. And then if we pull the map up, I've got all the markers all the way along to Siegfried line. I got tank, truck, tank. Everyone's waiting just at logging camp, piled up on that road. So they'll be making a dash for Siegfried from there. But it looks like they got their nodes up, and I think a couple of barricades to protect the Artie, it looks like, as well. So they'll get that going, and then they'll be racing to the finish line, starting line. Blah, English, can't do it every time.
No, I absolutely feel you. But yeah, obviously that defense around the Artie barricades is something that's absolutely huge in the current meta. With the current meta, we're looking at Artie snipes and tank snipes. So the ability of a infantry unit to sit there with a rocket launcher, 700 plus meters away and accurately and consistently hit that artillery. And that's what a lot of those barricades are set up to try and prevent. Both that and try and give the artillery lads some defense once the recon gets in to try and take them out and stop that artillery, which is absolutely huge in the current meta. With the APAI rule set, we are playing 35v35, but there is no restriction. There is no restriction on how many people you can set up. I'm just trying to find their truck so we can run in with them. There we go. We're going to switch back to my screen. Here we go. This is one of the Chimera troop trucks. They're going to move straight in. Look at that. Obviously, you can ride on top of the truck now. There's not as many as I'd normally see. You'd expect there'd be another troop transport going up, but just whilst we're waiting for them to get into the first point, what I'm going to do is flip over and have a look at which points we're going to be fighting over. From left to right, from Chimera to Garrybusters on the right-hand side, it's Mausback Approach, Cal Trail, the Siegfried line down in the south is going to be the middle point that we're going to fight over. Salient number 42 is on the right-hand side, and Logging Camp. That's a tough one to defend given how close the points are for our GBI. We'll see how they manage that if it comes to that, but let's keep following these guys in. Can I ask a quick question, BlueRoseJelly? Who's the commander?
Yes.
Who's the commander for GBI?
Murray Mofo is the commander for GBI today. Who is it for Chimera?
Well, Chimera, it is going to be Electro today. That's genuinely exciting, and good luck to both of those lads. Excited to see what they make of this. Obviously, Chimera pushing up through the low ground across the river, getting a bunch of smoke out just in case there is some Garrybusters lads. It looks like they're making their main push off to the left there. Actually, nope, there is a good blob of red berries who just got hit by a tank. Good lord. Taking out that troop transport. 3 of them managed to get away, but they're being absolutely sorted out by, looks like Jonatek. Lupus, he's a lad that's going to join us after the match. Bearded Butt and Candy Rock is off to our right. Dr. 280, he's going to be at the tip of the spear. He's going to be supporting Flynn Ogo sitting in the top of that. But looks like Chimera have absolutely got this sorted now. We're going to swing back over the point because it looks like they've managed to get a good bunch of their lads straight onto point. They're pushing into secret line at the moment. A big line of red berries. The red berries, when we're looking at my screen, are of course GBI. The blueberries are Chimera. I feel like that should be the other way around in terms of clan colours. But what are you going to do? GBI making a strong push up this left-hand side for Chimera at the moment. They're going to try and push on and take this. They're going to need to do a bit of work because currently the strong point is absolutely being dominated by Chimera. It's going to be absolutely on lads like Dankus, Sweet just going down before I could say his name, Cometa, Scriv off to your left, Attila the something, Lamagra, Lasagna, friend of the stream and a very good dude. Time to Charge is also pushing in, and a good bunch of red berries pushing up through the center as well. This early cap is going to go towards Chimera, though, so it is going to be incumbent on the GBI team to try and take it back. Dankus looks like he managed to survive most of that. Let's get nice and close.
No, there he goes.
Of course, as soon as I get into him, he gets brutally murdered. But that middle cap going first and foremost to Chimera. Very strong push from them early. And this is looking like a very solid Chimera team that's come to play here today, Blue.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They swarmed in on the point. I wasn't sure who would have the advantage by having it closer, but it looks like they were able to just come straight from bottom spawn and then just cross the river and then get in there. And then Garrybusters have to come through all the trees, so maybe because they have to set up at the next point, they weren't able to get in as fast, but it looks like they have a really strong line just straight down in the F column there. Oh, don't mark anything. Stop clicking that. That's bad. They're pushing onto the point through the trees, so they do have to cover. Chimera might be at a disadvantage because they are slightly on the low ground, but they will be getting those tanks up on the other hill and then shooting across the river that way. I will mark that one person as well. That's one to the casters for our kills as well.
Obviously, the commentator's curse is something that happens here. God damn it, everybody. Welcome. Danny10101 is going to be the lad that's going to be looking after and moderating chat today. Thank you very much for that, Putang. I appreciate you, my guy. Blue, whilst you're looking at stuff, can I get you to go spot out some of those Chimera tanks that are sitting up there? Because we're watching them do some work at the moment, and I'd like to see some of the positions they've got themselves into, if that's all right by you. Whilst we're doing that, we're just sort of sitting over the...
Stuart, that one. It's a little lit wheel. There it goes. Sorry, my bad. 2 for the casters. Another one. No, does that count as 3? Because there were 3 in the tank? Not sure.
I guess it probably does. Unless it was a solo tanker, but there's no way for us to tell now because they are currently brutally murdered. We'll switch back to me now that tank's obviously dead. That was the Stuart. The Stuart from Chimera going down. You can't win them all, and that time he absolutely didn't. We are sort of seeing now Chimera making some very strong pushes off the point itself. They look like they're sort of starting to run into this GBI battle line that's happening, and it's something we were talking about last week. It's a very strong way to be playing at the moment. If we zoom back just a little bit, you can see those 2 lines starting to form in the middle of the map, and you'll see a bunch of murder as those 2 lines start to meet each other. And it's going to be incumbent on either side just to find a weakness. The biggest problem I'm going to see, though, is that GBI is going to run into, is there are some Chimera lads that we're getting over to now, starting to roll up their left flank. As I said that, they all just died. Crack shot, couldn't live long enough. GBI Sweet is the recon spotter. He does have Mav over across onto this left-hand side, which is the northern side of the map. That's that lad Mav. He's spawned in as a rifleman, so I'm wondering whether or not I don't know. You don't see that many riflemen in the game, but as I say, he got brutally murdered as well. And Sweet is going to get up on the right hand side of this Chimera line. But I'll tell you what, Chimera, very strong in the centre still, and they do have a lot of lads moving up on this right-hand flank as well. They've taken this little farmhouse area as a bit of a strong point, and they'll keep fighting out of that. If they can hold that, it means they get a solid position that they get to keep on the right-hand side of that strong point, and it will make it difficult for these GBI lads to keep pushing in if they've got that much. That many problems on their left flank or their southern flank, depending on which compass you're using. God damn it. Welcome to everybody else that's joining. Big push there we're seeing for GBI moving straight through the center onto Siegfried line. Blue, can I get you to pull up your map? And what we're going to do is have a look at what GBI have done in terms of garrisons and how their attack's looking. So let's have a look at that and get over there.
So they have a garrison up north in F6 up on the top of the hill there, and they'll want that to push down into Siegfried, but also push off into Coaltrail. They have one in a G7 right at the top corner, and then one in G8 as well. And those seem to be the attacking Garys. There's H7 and H8 down on Salient, and they've got a backup down at Logging Camp. So and there's another one in Ice. They pretty much got garrisons in the 7 and 8 column all the way back, just those 6 squares. There's a garrison all there. So they seem to have plenty of garrisons. They'll need them because they have the straight line from Siegfried to Salient to Logging Camp, and they may have a little bit of a disadvantage because the Chimera can just kind of push through and go straight to the next point. But then they might have the advantage because they've got all the garrisons set up and they want to defend that anyway. And it's close enough that all you have to do is hop back over the line to defend. So be interesting to see what they do with that as well.
Absolutely. Whilst we're talking, let's go have a look at what Chimera have done in terms of garrisons. I'm not seeing anything on the point itself, so it looks like they still don't think that's held well enough. We just saw the infantry pin go down there. Interesting point. With the garrison that's sort of sitting there in the D7 in the D7 square, that garrison has just lit up. So that's allowed Chimera to know that there are infantry around there, so it's been marked up. And they do have a nice little boxing of garrisons at the moment. Their furthest forward garrison that they've got currently is in the E8 column. And that's what we were looking at before. It's just sort of the end of that trench network there. Couple of bunkers, a little bit of a strong point for them to hold. And they're going to be using that. You'd expect them to be pushing forward and trying to take some better garrison positions, but we'll go from there. Good Lord. Let's get back into the match. Obviously, we can't sit and watch maps forever. As much as some of you guys wish we could, it looks like this GBI push in the middle has mostly been stalled at the moment. Chimera pushing up, seeing if they can take care of it. This GBI frontline seems to be collapsing a little bit, just with this push from Chimera. Not too many lads back on point. They've just got a little bit of defensive work there.
I got a tank battle happening at the moment. The 76, and I know that because of the muzzle brake. Hey, look at that. The knowledge is coming in handy. It's getting shot at from the Garrybusters tank, which is on the other hill. It's way over there. I think it's been marked. But they're currently getting a couple of hits on them. And they're just probably going to hide and chill there and repair. But they're coming in and they're all the way over in Coaltrail. So it looks like the tank battles are happening. There's the Garrybusters tank there. It looks like they're just happening straight across the river over the top. And they've been flared as well. So I think we'll see a lot of long shots from the tanks. It won't necessarily be close quarters like it is rolling through the fields. And that they'll just want to perch on the highest point and then shoot from there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, especially the way this map is set up. Let me just zoom back just a little bit and show you guys exactly what we're talking about. If you have a look at this, basically, the center point of this map is a big valley with 2 high points that are covered in trees on either side of this one. So essentially, that's what we're talking about. None of the tanks are willing to forgo the cover of the trees and push through the middle. It's just a tank v tank battle at the moment. I'm interested to see how this goes. GBI, bunch of lads up on the left here, towards the north of the map. Looks like they're trying to make a bit of a flank, trying to put some pressure on this Chimera flank. See if they can't roll it up. As I said, 2 of them just got brutally murdered. That is Lamagra, the man himself, and Bear. Cactus and Pedro are going to stay alive. Rhodey is he's the sniper for the Chimera team. He's just going to sit there and he's just going to watch and see who he can pick off from this little spot there. He's not. He's going to run forward. A little bit of artillery going down there. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's the Chimera artillery. It's been called out on the GBI advance from that side. There you go. Rhodey
There
going down. Looks
is
like Pedro's
currently
going down.
one person on the GBI RD. But if you swap to my screen real quick, I'll look at this. I found this trick. So I'm just sitting above the Panzer 4. And sorry, I had to check that. And I'm looking to where the Chimera tank is, and I can kind of do this. Wee! And zoom in. And it's not as good as like the tank spotters thing. I can kind of see right in the middle of your screen there between Mugshot and Black Duster, I think that is. That's where the tank is currently, I think. So it looks like they can see them, but my zoom is not as good. But that zoom feature, I like that. That's nice.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Well done. It's something I should use more, but don't. But we'll switch back over to the battle. Obviously, Chimera, very, very strong moving off this point. They're starting to do exactly what we keep talking about some of the other teams doing. Just starting to dominate the sectors around it. The biggest problem they have at the moment, which looks like it's been called out for some artillery, is that those GBIs, the GBI boys, the red berries you can see in the middle of your screen, pushing up on their, it'll be the left flank or the northern flank for this Chimera team. And that's where the main strength of GBI is pushing. But that said, Chimera absolutely dominating the middle at the moment. They seem to be holding on to this strong point down the right-hand side. I'd like to see GBI start to push them out from that. Otherwise, some of these squads are going to keep pushing up and keep causing problems for the GBI side. That said, you never know. That real shotgun approach that they've got in the middle might prove really nice for them, and it might work. Can I just say, quickly, welcome everybody that's joining the goddamn live stream. We are on a 15-minute delay, so no spoilers. I don't know when the match is going to finish. We're just going to keep writing no spoilers in chat as much as humanly possible. But 15 minutes delay, so I can't respond to you directly, but we do have some good lads. If you've got any questions, we do have some of the best lads on Twitch hanging around chat, just letting us know what's going on. But there you go. Chimera, very, very strong through the middle of the map at the moment. Looks like they're happy just to crawl and start pushing towards the next point, which is salient number 42. Let's go have a look at that point before it starts getting some pressure on it, and we can see what we're looking at. As I said that, it looks like Butterdog and Jonatech, it's a squad leader and his AT person, have managed to push in behind. I don't know whether they've been detected or not yet. I'm just going to have a quick squiz. Not
close up. It doesn't look like it. There's 2-2 on the point. Reaper and Yogi Bear seem to be looking the right way, but not quite. So they might be able to sneak in. They may have seen that the garrison in the OP is hot on that, so they know that someone's there.
And Reaper's just been taken
out.
So they'll absolutely know that somebody's there. Jonatech getting the rocket out. He's going to miss. Yogi Bear's going to get the jump on him then. There you go. That is Jonatech being taken out by Yogi Bear. But the squad lead, Butterdog, is going to move around the other side. He's going to see whether he can get a shot on it. This could be freaking clutch. Two squad leaders. Squad leader versus squad leader. Yogi Bear's facing the wrong way. Butterdog didn't see him. He was pretty content. He's going to see him now and going to take down Yogi Bear. That's huge. Butterdog is the last lad left alone. Nope. There you go. Reaper's managed to respawn. And get just before he gets brutally murdered by Butterdog again.
To us again.
I'm assuming Butterdog's going to get in, and can you let me know if that GBI garrison gets taken down?
I think they took down the garrison beforehand, but they put the garrison back up out on the outside. So he's just gone past it. He may not have seen it behind the boxes. So I'm not sure whether he wants to get his OP up or get a spawn wave in and then deal with it, or he hasn't realized that they've put the garrison back up. Oh, there's a huge spawn wave, and someone spawned in and came running. So I'm not sure whether the Chimera OP is on the point, but it looks like they're trying to get into. Oh, I see what they're doing. Trying to get into the radio tower and hold the radio tower.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing a tank roll up. Is that? No, that's the Garrybusters tank. So it's come back for support. That is the Panzer 4. And it's come back for support.
That is the Panther, my friend.
That's the Panther. Wait, hang on. Oh, now I can't tell the difference between the Panther and the Panzer.
That's right. Obviously, with the new update, a lot of them changed, and it did make it a lot more difficult to figure out. But I think you're absolutely right. The call from Garrybusters
it's
definitely
the turret.
The call from Garrybusters definitely came back to defend. Butterdog, they're pushing off an OP there, if I'm not mistaken. There you go. Just down that bottom side is the area that they're pushing off to try and attack and put some pressure on Salient 42, which is exactly what they need to do at the moment. Just to try and take some of the attackers away from the Siegfried line. This has been a strong game from Chimera. I'm genuinely interested to see what GBI do to try and throw them off this. The Moe Squishy Bod and Taripa, they're going to be your GBI boys pushing up now. Butterdog is the squad lead. He's just going to be pretty happy to be a bushwookie. Just sort of hide, make sure nobody can see what the hell is going on. He's just going to cruise down there. He doesn't really need to do much. Obviously, that OP has been taken down that we were talking about before. So he's just going to be a bushwookie, hold his position, and see whether or not they can take down anything. A little bit of that looks like a satchel. I think just went off. Not needed, but that's fine. We love a good satchel in this game, regardless of whether it hits any friendlies or enemy. We're moving forward now. This is the Panther that BlueRoseJelly was looking at before. It's just sort of cruising around the defensive line, seeing whether it can't pick up anybody. That's going to be crewed by, what is that? That is Geki Ganger, Jabiru, and Carl the Hun. There you go, in that Panther. Good luck to you, lads. Obviously, Panther, huge in the current meta. What I do want to see, I want to see some goddamn tigers. I miss the tiger.
Well, there might be a tiger. There is a second heavy. I was just looking at the tanks on the map. There's a second heavy rolling up on the point. It's coming in. It's right down the bottom of the map in H8. So it's right down there. That could be the tiger. Let's zoom over and have a look. Where are you? Here it is. Do we have... No, it's another Panther.
It is another Panther. There you go. You win some, you lose some. That time, no tiger for us. What are you going to do? I'll tell you what, this GBI team...
I think it's because the Panther reloads 2 or 3 seconds faster than the other heavy tanks. So it may not be as tanky as the tiger, but it's the faster reload can help when you get snuck up on or something. And it moves faster, I think.
I think it does. I think that's why Kingsy was telling me that the drivers love the old Panther because it's a speedy boy, a very speedy boy. I might just let you guys know what's happening in the battle. So Chimera have absolutely got their push on, and they've started to push off well off Siegfried line. It doesn't look like GBI have too much of a flank or an ability to put pressure on Siegfried line, and that's allowed Chimera to really push that line up and really start to put pressure on this GBI team. Look, at the moment, there isn't much in terms of tactics. God damn it. Thank you very much for subscribing. It is a goddamn pleasure. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, my guys. It doesn't look like GBI have much. That flank that we're talking about down here looks like it has been well and truly dealt with by this Chimera team. And that's going to allow them to just keep pushing up as a line without too much worry. There is a good spawn wave coming back. Looks like they've just come in. I don't know what they spawned off with. Can I have a look? Can I get you to have a look, Blue? At the GBI team, there is a big spawn wave that just came off to...
down there in E8. So that spawn wave you're seeing down southwest of Siegfried's. There's right on the edge, just possibly in the river. There's the garrison there.
There you go. That's the garrison they just spawned off. So very sneaky garrison. That's going to allow them to put a little bit of pressure. Exactly that area we were talking about where Chimera didn't want them to be attacking. They're going to start pushing up there. It's going to be incumbent on Chimera to get back and deal with this. Whether or not they take people off the line to be able to do that, or that's going to be completely down to the commander and the squad leads to talk amongst themselves and figure out what in God's name they're going to do to deal with this GBI flank. Kekta's taking down Barito. And that is Mugshot, Unknown, and Blackjack sitting in that 76. The bombing run's just going to miss it. Kai Bear just being taken down before he could get his satchel. I do love a good tank satchel. No good, though. Candy Rock's going to jump in and support that tank. He doesn't know he's got Cactus, Lamagra, Bear moving up on just behind him. This 76 Candy is going to be in a bit of trouble.
Around. Oh, sorry.
Taripa going down. Candy Rock's just got brutally murdered. Taripa running in front of the tank, which is always an odd move. Lamagra and Cactus. Lamagra's just going to be pretty content to sit down there. He's going to get brutally murdered before he can do anything. But 99 Toz. That's just Tozzy. Why don't I don't need to say 99 Tozzy 99. Tozzy and Cactus have moved up into the strong point. So this is absolutely huge. This point has started to go back towards GBI. So this has been a very good garrison and a very good push from this GBI team.
Pedro just getting that satchel on the front of the 76. That is a 76. So it's currently got a satchel on it, and they're rolling back. They need to hop out pretty fast. I don't think they've seen him. He managed to start putting it on. Oh, here we go. Mugshots. Can he get the satchel off in time? Is Pedro gonna shoot him?
Not defending. Not defending his satchels.
Oh, satchel's off. They've saved it. They managed to get the satchel off in time. That is so tense when you're watching it and you're trying to pick it up. Oh.
You have to defend your satchels to keep them going. Let's move over to the point, because GBI starting to spawn in. Do they have spawn points on Siegfried line itself? Because it looks like they're continuing to take this point. This is absolutely huge. This has been one hell of a play from GBI.
I don't see any OPs. Oh no, there's one OP in the middle of Siegfried. They're garrison down the front as well. There's an airhead going down in E5 as well, just opposite Coal Trail. So I suspect as soon as they get Siegfried, they'll be doing a mass spawn onto Coal Trail. Oh, that's a bombing run.
Bombing run going in. That is going to be the Chimera bombing run. It has missed most of them, so a little bit of an ineffective bombing run there. GBI have taken the point, and they are starting to take Coal Trail, exactly as you called it. Can I get you to have a look at that airhead? Jump over that airhead and we'll see exactly what that's doing. It looks like Gandalf the White is going to be the recon spotter that's sitting on Coal Trail. It is starting to be defended, obviously. Chimera is starting to get the lads back to try and defend this one. Black Duster is the sniper. He's way off to the south, up the top of your screen there. But Gandalf the White, one hell of a good player. We've said that, and we've commentated on that guy many a time. I'm pretty sure he took home one of our men of the match, people of the match. I don't know. I don't assume. Before, so we know he's one hell of a player. Hodikins, as I say his name, Gandalf the White, obviously gets brutally murdered. Aussie boy, Heavenly are going to push back and start defending.
I got Andy coming in for that airhead. It's landed, but I don't think they're going to get a spawn wave off by the time he gets there. No, I think that airhead, it might be taken down. There are supplies there. I think Andy's going to get those supplies as well. So that there goes the forward GBI garrison that was planned for up in E5 and to attack Coal Trail, which would have been a good place to push up again to Mouseback.
It would have.
I'm not sure how to pronounce those.
I feel like anybody that's ever played a game with OC's own Danger Klaus in a pub match, that is a Klausy special. The only thing that was missing was there's no half tracks involved, which I think was a disappointment to everybody. But look, what we're looking at now is over Siegfried line that has just been taken by this GBI team. Well fucking done, lads. That was a very good push and a very good flank over that side. It looks like they're starting to try and defend this garrison. It has been marked up by about 3 squad leads from Chimera, so they are very, very aware that there is a garrison there. Dankus, friend of the stream, Dankus, and a good streamer himself, pushing up there. They're just trying to move off this garrison, see if they can't find themselves a bit of space. He's going to be supported by the Flying Dog, the Flying Dingo. I don't know what it is. It could be anything. Can I just say, God damn it, AE86ER, thank you very much for 500-bit donation. God damn it, my guy. You are an amazing human, so I can't thank you enough. And thank you to everybody that's rocked up today. I hope you guys are having fun, because this is still anybody's game. What's happened in the match so far? There was an early cap from Chimera taking the point, and they were looking very, very strong over it for the moment. But GBI with a big flank down that southern side of the map, able to get in behind Chimera and take back the point. And now what we're looking at is GBI starting to push out and starting to take control of this strong point. Very, very good play. It's probably a good time to look at some maps. Let's look at what Chimera's Gary situation looks like. And look, as you'd expect from such...
put up a garrison in... Oh, what is that? That point just below Coal Trail with the warehouse? What is that one? Logging something?
That's an excellent question, to which I should know the answer, but don't. So looking...
If they're not circled, I'd honestly sometimes I go, yep, I know which one you're talking about, and I've blanked on the name.
I know. So the Gary situation for Chimera at the moment, very, very strong. One of them just got taken out by a tank. We saw that to the right of our screen just then whilst we're looking at the map. But Garrison's in a very, very good grid formation there. Very, very north heavy, but you'd expect that given the push that Garrybusters had down the south before. Blue, can I get you to pull up the map and let's have a look at what GBI has done in terms of garrisons?
So the garrisons, there's one on Siegfried line, there's the two down the bottom of Siegfried, so it's pretty much circled, which is good. They don't really have anything north of Call Trail, so it looks like they're working their way up. There are supplies up at that radio station in D4, so they'll probably get that garrison up there to push down into Call Trail, but there's nothing really in the red at the moment, so I think they're going to work on that. I think because Airhead failed, they can't push off from straight in front of Call Trail. But I think they've got some good garrisons in defense. Siegfried line has got some good garrisons, and they'll want to just hang around there and hold that and get some more forward garrisons up.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And we're just going to cruise over. If you have a look at sort of the middle and top of your screen right now, this is the radio station that Blue's talking about. Obviously, it's a very strong place to be pushing Cal Trail. You have the high ground. There is a bunch of cover up here. There you go. There's the radio tower. And it just sits just to the north of Cal Trail. A very, very strong place to be able to just sort of build up your forces and present a good front and put pressure on Cal Trail, which is the point in the middle of your screen right now. Whew. Banger of a match.
Steal a tank kill from the tankers on the Siegfried. Little Stuart who could got a little stuck in one of the trenches and then became easy prey. But it looks like they're holding that south side as well.
Yeah, I think they are. Look, but there you go. Chimera, PTS free. PTS free, just taking down that garrison with his rocket, obviously. Didn't want to risk it. Didn't want to risk another spawn wave running in to get it, so he's just going to brutally murder that one. That's probably going to be the end of this Garrybusters push up that left-hand side now. Garrybusters sitting very deep on the point. There are some sporadic attacks coming from these blueberries. Obviously, when you're looking at my screen, the blue team is Chimera. The red team is Garrybusters, but that's reversed when we go and have a look at BlueRoseJelly. Just keep that in mind if you're watching. Good Lord. Lot of support for both teams in chat. It is a pleasure to have each and every one of you. A lot of artillery going down on point. That's definitely softening up this GBI team. Jonah Tech is going to be, he's obviously on an offensive squad at the moment because he's pushing up the middle. PTS Free is the lad that just took down that garrison. The McGee looks like he's trying to get back to deal with him. No, he's actually going to get murdered before I get over there. But Bearded Butt and Lupus. Dankus, playing as an engineer, is going to be pushing up the right-hand side. Both teams at the moment, obviously with the point changing, have just had to reassess what they're doing. Gandalf the White getting murdered by Lupus before Lupus getting taken down himself. This is anybody's game. It has just come down to gunfights everywhere. Honestly, I don't even know where to look at the moment. All around the map.
They're spread out as well. It's like good sector control, but then they can't quite break the line because the other team has good sector control in the same spot. So then they're just fighting over a bunker. So it's like little scrims all over the shop without a big push at the moment.
Yep, we've got Jonah Tech has moved up the middle. He's going to be on his own, though, so he's going to want some support from somebody. He knows he's got artillery going everywhere. He knows he's got tanks going on. The bulk of this Chimera team look like they've pushed straight across the river and straight to the east from Cal Trail. And they're the blueberries that you can see now. They're seeing exactly what GBI was trying to do before, more or less. But have a presence towards that north side of Siegfried line, which is all the blueberries you can see massing there. And they're going to start putting some sustained pressure onto Siegfried line, unless this GBI team is able to push them out and start taking some control of this sector towards the north. It looks like, though, they're pretty content to sit very deep and... Look, it's not a bad way to do it. We are seeing some GBI response to try and get up on that flank. It will mean that Chimera obviously needs to move towards the left of your screen now. With the GBI and the red berries you can see on their flank, that means there are definitely two lines that they have to keep an eye on. Scriv doing some murder. There you go, Scriv taking down Mav. Lamagra, Lasagna, friend of the stream, and one hell of a Chivalry 2 player, just quietly. Moving up, he's going to support his mate Scriv. He is the squad lead and the old support player. God damn it, this is fucking anybody's game. It's under an hour, we're half an hour gone, and Jesus, we've seen some plays so far, ladies and gentlemen. BlueRoseJelly, this has been a fucking good match. I was a little worried at the start. Yeah, I was a little worried at the start.
Because Garrybusters, all their points are like very close to each other, and you can kind of just go from one to the other. Whereas Chimera's got that big leap up to Cool Trail, and then an even bigger leap up to Mouseback. Then it's you got to get all those garrisons up. You got to go from one spot and then really push up to the next one. And I think that's why Garrybusters may have like the advantage / disadvantage of being able to defend Siegfried and Salient at the same time. Like if they want to attack one and defend one, but it does leave them open to getting kind of pushed back quickly because they just have to get through like one square to the next point.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's what I was genuinely worried having a look at this. But I'll tell you what, GBI running it very well, being very composed, and it's really good to see. No matter what challenge is thrown at them, a lot of these OCE teams are happy to just get in. Pell let loose doing some goddamn murder there. Bearded Butt and Lupus are sitting up on the right-hand side of our screen. There was an artillery mark. It must have been an old one because I'm not seeing artillery come down anymore. Pell let loose, obviously, as soon as we mention him, gets brutally murdered. I didn't see who got him that time, but well done to GBI. They've mainly tried to wrap up this. It is probably going to take more than the two of them to deal with this Chimera threat on this left-hand side for them, but we'll see how they go. Let's move back into point because it looks like Chimera have made a concerted push onto point there. We're looking towards the north of Siegfried Line, the point we're currently sort of cruising over right now. But GBI, they've got in behind them and they're really starting to deal with this. There's just the three of them left, two of them now, of course, as soon as I said that. Go Trek and Maximum. Go Trek dying, obviously, as I say his name. Maximus is the last one. It's going to be incumbent on GBI to just sort of clean up this side and see whether they can push forward and push their battle lines forward to start to deal with this one.
I have Dr. 280 just chilling in the point at Coal Trail. Just, just hiding in a trench. I think they're they're right deep in that circle. So I have a feeling Chimera will see that counter come up and they'll probably want to deal with it, and they won't know how many people are there, but it's just one little person hiding in a trench. Artie seems to be getting close. Artie on you, Dr. 28, yeah.
I'm just going to point out something to you, BlueRoseJelly. That lad is sitting in the middle here in Cal Trail, but there's only the one garrison from Chimera up north that's pinging hot. The garrison just 2 hours to the south is not pinging, so they might not be aware. And is that point, Cal Trail is contested, was contested, obviously, until that spawn wave from Chimera came back. But Dr. 280, just doing his thing. Blue was just hovering over him there.
Is up north. Whereabouts is that? Chimera, Gary, up north of Coal Trail?
Yeah, up north of Coal Trail. It looks like it is. Let me get in there and have a quick squiz. It's always
might be where it looks like Kyber is heading at the moment. Oh no, pellet loose and pellet loose. Oh, that's one for us. It gets taken down by Dr. 280. So does Go Track. Oh, that's two for us. Dr. 280 doing good on that defense there.
There's that garrison we were talking about.
People come from. Oh yeah, just up there.
Yeah, just down the hill from the radar station that we said was fairly crucial. There you go, radar station. Obviously, a very obvious place to have a garrison. So having it somewhere different can often be very beneficial, even if it's in a slightly worse place because the enemy's not aware of where they are. We're moving over to the middle. Bob Ross, the Moe, and Wello pushing up. They're going to come up against Lupus. PT is free, and Bearded Butt. As I said, all those Chimera lads just got brutally murdered. That's what we were saying this last week, BlueRoseJelly. No matter what the commander says, or the overarching strategy that's discussed before between the squad leads, a lot of these games, a lot of these moments come down to just the individual gunfights and the skill of the individual players.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and you can see that in. You can have some of the best commanders in the world. If you don't have people that can shoot straight, if you don't have the team to back that up, they're going to run into trouble.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to you come around the corner, you're going into the bunker and you see each other at the same time and who gets lucky enough to draw first. If you didn't already have your gun up because you were sprinting somewhere, they may have just been leaning around the corner, so they're going to probably win that fight. So sometimes it's all down to that, and that's what you know, they happen to get the squad lead, so the squad lead can't put their OP down, which stops the push from that direction. They have to go back and do a run. So it's kind of like, sometimes it's like, yeah, you've got a plan, but then that plan can go out the window very quickly.
Right. Well, there's some old saying about no plan survives the joining of battle, but somebody in chat's absolutely going to correct me on that one.
Yeah, something like that.
Jonatech is just outside the building from I'm assuming it's Snack the Rack. Who knows? Surely they can hear each other, or maybe the din of battle is way too much and they're not seeing each other. Oh, Jonatech got the jump on him, but Snack the Rack was able to recover nice and easily and take him down. Well done, my guy. Mr. Cheese something. He's going to push up and see whether he can finish off what his mate was unable to do. Snack the Rack just sort of holding off in this little building here. Mr. Cheese, surely Snack hears him walking around. Surely. There you go. Mr. Cheese taking down Snack with the old hip-fired machine gun. Who doesn't love a hip-fired machine gun in this game?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good for clear. You want to go around corners, you pre-fire around a corner. You're pretty good unless they've got other ideas. But sometimes, like, if you've got a semi-auto and they've got a bolt action, you may, even if they had to jump on you, you may get them, because if you turn around and crouch, or you turn around and jump or whatever, they'll miss. And then you have about 10 or 15 bullets extra to just spray in their general direction, which is what I do.
100%. Whilst we've been talking, Blue, what we have seen, that area we were looking at before that GBI was desperately trying to hold on to, it looks like Chimera have managed to get a good bunch of lads to start pushing up the middle. The GBI are going to run into some problems unless they can start putting some pressure onto Cal Trail, because this GBI battle line is moving up very, very hard onto their southern flank here. You'd expect these blueberries that you can see just sort of the right of the river as we're looking at it at the moment, which will be towards the west of the river if you're looking at the compass directions. Never eat soggy Weet-Bix is the way we do it in Australia. But this Chimera team, they're pushing up nice and hard, and it's going to be incumbent on this GBI team to call this out and start dealing with this flank. Otherwise, they're going to be into some trouble. It does look like they do have the southern flank.
Garrybusters half track up the top. Right up top in C3. So that'll probably be the push for Musback, but I think they're using it to get down into Coal Trail, and they have a garrison up in a C4 as well. So they'll want that to push down to Coal Trail, and hopefully Chimera don't come from the middle or something to push through. Does Chimera have anything up north of Coal Trail, or is everything in the south for them?
Coal Trail, they've got that one garrison that we were talking about just down from the radar tower before. Let me just switch over so everyone else can see what the hell I'm looking at. That garrison just up north, they've got one basically just south of Coal Trail. And then, as you'd sort of expect from an experienced team, we're seeing that grid square. BlueRoseJelly, whilst we're sort of dicking around in the middle of the map right now, can you do me a favour? Can you go have a look at the Chimera, the GBI artillery for me?
Zooming.
Let's have a look at who's on. I always like to shout out some of the recon lads, some of the artillery, the unsung heroes of this. Let me know when you're there, and I'll switch over to you.
Artie, where am I? Here we go. I got Artie. So it's just one person. So it looks like Land Cruiser. Can't see the full name, but they have got 2 barricades and a Belgium gate at the front. So they seem to be quite safe up there, and it looks like because of the way the map is, they've decided to go with the far right gun, so they can get probably Musback as well. Coal Trail, it'll probably get everything to a certain point.
Yep, let's swing over and have a look at the Chimera. Artie, there were 3 of them on it. 3 of them were shooting. One of them did just go down there. I didn't see who got it. It's probably has to have been Gandalf the White or a sniper if that's been taken down, but I can't see a sniper around here literally anywhere. But they were running 3 guns. Now Bubbles looks like he's jumped onto a little bit of artillery defense. And they've so has cannon fodder. There you go. It sounds like
a bombing run just through the middle of Siegfried. I think that may have been Chimeras though.
It was. Chimera's bombing run, just going through Siegfried line right then. Gandalf the White is the recon lad, trying to deal with that. But look, what he's absolutely done his job as a recon, trying to take down Artie. He's stopped the guns from firing because they're all off their guns and all trying to hunt him down. He's just going to sit there. I wonder how close they are. Gandalf the White missing that shot. and going to miss all the shots because Bubbles, the squad lead on artillery, is going to manage to take him down. Let's get back over the middle and see how the battle's sorting out now. Now that we've got that artillery business out of the way, Caltrail being contested.
Chimera pushing up on Siegfried from the south. It looks like getting into that little building area up the top of the hill. Southeast of Siegfried. It looks like they want that area there. Probably get a couple of OPs, get a garrison or something. They'll be able to get behind Siegfried quite easily. And they seem to be all coming from the river area as well and trying to push up. But we've got Cactus here running around behind them, probably trying to look for their garrisons and OPs. And they're doing that push up the hill again that they did at the beginning from the south.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think that's an extension of what we were looking at before. From that, that's Chimera moving up that battle line we were talking about before. I'll tell you what, Caltrail was just contested. It was our lad Dankus, Pedro and Grink, and the Flying Dirt. I'm going to have to find out what that guy's name is.
Flying Doge.
The Flying Doge! What a damn good... That's not as quite an internet name as 69 YOLO Swag 420 that we saw the other week, which was the most internet name that I think I have ever heard. But to the point going towards GBI then, they're starting to put a little bit of pressure on. Pedro going down. It looks like Chimera is starting to get a little bit of defense back now. But GBI making a concerted push onto this point. Kyber's going to be supporting the lads that we just called out. Heavenly spawned back in, but the Flying Doge is going to be going to get across there and see whether he can deal with it. I didn't see where Heavenly spawned in from, so I don't quite know where their spawn points are, but the Flying Doge, point still contested. This is flashing backwards and forwards. GBI, absolutely this is what they need to do to try and take some of that pressure that they know is coming on Siegfried line. Caltrail going back towards GBI for a little bit there, but it's going to be defended once again. It's going to be incumbent on this GBI attack to try and take down some of the boys from Chimera that are defending Caltrail. This has been a very good game from GBI so far, as much as we were very, we credited Chimera with the start of the match. Good recovery from GBI to start dealing with this. Let's get back over to the Siegfried line and see how the hell this is shaking up. There you go. Red berries you can see towards the right of your screen. As we called them out, obviously they get brutally murdered. Lamagra, Cometa, Attila the Nun, I assume.
Maybe.
Would make most sense to me spawning in. They seem to be right in the middle of this Chimera assault, and they're trying to get across that side. There you go. It looks like somebody just got taken down. Didn't catch their name before they did. Crackshot and VK are going to start pushing in to try and put pressure. What I do like is, have a look at this. GBI, Bob Ross, and Wello with the machine gun, just sitting up on this left flank, just to try and make sure that Chimera can't take this part of the hill and can't get up to this farmhouses. I'd like to see a few more of them. As we've said that, Kaonoshi, is that 70? I can't read that, for God's sake. Here's the support lad. He's just pushed straight into Siegfried line. He's just going to walk around a point as we get into him. Obviously, he gets brutally murdered. That's how commentator's curse works. As soon as we shout out somebody's name, they are going to get shot and they're going to be no more. They'll spawn in later. It's fine. That's the way this game works. That's historically accurate for World War II. I don't know whether you know this. When the Nazis got shot, they actually spawned back in. But GBI still putting pressure on this point. And it did start to flash and go back their way. Looks like they still just got the three of them on. Bit of a spawn wave coming from Chimera to start pushing in and start dealing with this. Two of them left. Richie and Scriv are the last ones left. They're going to have to deal with Maximus. Kanoshi, we just saw him off offense, but he's not going to be anymore because he's going to get absolutely murdered. No, he's not. That was, and Caledonius. Scriv, last one left. To be putting pressure on. You'd expect, have a look at that. That's the artillery marker you can see towards the right of your screen. That's Chimera absolutely getting their comms right and telling their artillery that they need some support in that area because they're seeing infantry coming. And look, good communication, and they're starting to clear up this, and this will see Caltrail nice and secure for the moment until the rest of these lads, which is the Flying Doge Wello and Dr. 280, are going to be pushing from the northern side of the map. But I'll tell you what, Heavenly, Candy Rock, and Aussie Boy, they're going to be on the side of their flank if they do decide to push up from there. So very, very good defense from Chimera, showing some good composure. Now what we need to see them do is start pushing on Siegfried line. But I'll tell you what, GBI have absolutely started to clean up this. We are seeing towards the south. They're so close together. That must have been a spawn wave. Let's have a look at what they've got in there. I'm not seeing any OP. There we go. OP towards the middle of your screen is exactly where this team's spawning off. And that's not a bad spot from them to be starting. The biggest problem they're going to run into is GBI is absolutely well aware of it. Good lord, I do wonder whether I talk too much sometimes.
South, yeah, I've got a bunch of OP marks just down in that corner, artillery marks as well. They're very aware of that push coming from the south there. And in the north of Coal Trail as well, I've got that garrison in C4 still working. But it seems like Chimera have pushed up from the south of Coal Trail, swept right through Coal Trail, and then pushing up towards that garrison. So I expect that garrison to get locked quite quickly. And then maybe we'll see if they go far enough north to find that half track. That'll be interesting to see whether they can see that at all. But it looks like they've cleared out GBI from the point on Coal Trail and just are pushing them back north.
Yeah, I completely agree. What they do need to do is, though, start to deal with some of those garrisons and those half tracks, etc., that you're talking about, because basically they provide some sustained push, and that sustained push onto the point is what's going to start putting them in. It's going to start helping them out and start taking the pressure off, Siegfried line is the middle point. GBI, we're coming up to 40 minutes. GBI holding on to the middle after heroically pushing it out of Chimera's hands. This has been a banger of a match. Danny1010, thank you very much for modding the chat today. I appreciate the living shit out of you, my guy. And I appreciate everybody that has rocked by the stream today. Feel free to use the GBI and Chimera emotes to your heart's content. Also the OC emote. They're follower emotes, so you guys get to use them to show your support as much as you'd like. But thank you very much for all the generosity. Thank you for all the subs. Thank you for all the bits so far. Thank you for all the follows. This is 15 minutes delayed, sorry. So I don't always get to respond to you as much as I'd normally like, but I'd just like to take this moment, as there's a bit of a lull in the fighting, to say thank you guys. I appreciate the living shit out of you. Whew.
Speaking of chat as well, I've just been called by Dark Shadow as well. Has said, "Hey Blue, the south point of Coal Trail is called the Ruins." That's what it is.
Right, yeah. See, that's why we keep chat around, isn't it, Blue? Just to keep us honest.
To correct us, because we're gonna get stuff wrong all the time. I never identify tanks right, and so yeah. Look, if the point's not highlighted, I forget what it is because we're not going there. It's not one of the points that we need.
Right? We're just what we're doing is cruising over on the main camera right now. We're looking at GBI, just trying to get down and deal with it. Goose is going to take down Cactus. Grink is going to be the last one there. GBI obviously well aware. Attila the Nun, good lord, that was some goddamn good work with the automatic rifle, taking out a bunch of the Chimera lads. VK though has decided, fuck it, all the lads are dying behind. I'm just going to push up in this tank network. This trench network, and start putting some pressure on. He's going to have a quick look back and go, nah, fuck it, that's done. You guys are dead to me. We're going to push up here and see if we can't put some pressure on this GBI defense. Whew.
Yeah, there's a GBI push still going from the north of Coal Trail. They still have, the garrison has gone down, but the half track is there. So I have a feeling Chimera know that they're coming from the north, but I don't think they've gone far enough to go and have a look and find that half track. What they may do is, if they put recon down that column, they'd find it. There's also a Garrybusters airhead dropping. That's Garrybusters. Yep, it's Garrybusters airhead dropping south, like right. Oh, I'm hitting the edge of the map too. So that's going to hit in the tree. So hopefully that'll be very safe, but again, not likely. There is Chimera all over it, so they will probably have heard that plane go over. Some people can hear the difference between that and the supply train. I can't. I can only tell a bombing run because that's the one that scares me the most.
Yeah, I know, you and me both. I
have looking up, and hopefully they can see it.
I have switched over to my screen. We are following this airhead in. It was marked up as a garrison from Chimera, but it is a very, very conservative, airhead, just to try and put an extra bit of pressure on this southern side of the map. Or it could be a bit of a distraction because obviously with 35v35, management of all your infantry becomes very, very important. We're just going to sit here and see whether or not GBI is going to use that, or whether or not they're going to use it as a distraction. They have put some supplies in.
There are supplies there, aren't there? Yeah.
So
I think they'll try for a garrison. I think they'll get one or two people to spawn. Oh, a big spawn wave, bunch of officers as well, and the commander as well. So yeah, they're gonna want to get a garrison up and use that to push into Coal Trail and at least defend Siegfried's from that area as well. Because then the Chimera can't get into Siegfried's from the south, but they are coming up against Mav and Goose. There they go.
Mav and Goose. That is one hell of a pairing. I hope they're in the same squad. If they're not, I'll be genuinely disappointing. Murray Mofo doing some work. The Moe going down, but they were able to take out that Chimera response to the airhead. It was a little bit subdued. McFly's off to the left. Dankus is going to have to deal with him. Otherwise, he's going to get brutally murdered. I wonder if they're aware whether or not the other person is there. McFly just sort of sitting out there.
Trees.
McFly's going to take down Dankus. There you go. Dankus, apologies, mate. Obviously, you're not called Horsecock today. So, obviously, those of you that have watched me cast GBI before, they have a habit of changing all their names in-game to Horsecock, and I hate it, and I don't know who's who. But Chimera just starting to push across the river again and start to sort of build up that attack that got shut down so well by GBI before. We're under 40 minutes, 36 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Still anybody's game. We're still fighting over the middle. There is a bit of pressure still going on Cal Trail. Is there? There you go. Yeah, there is a good bit of pressure. Those red berries that just popped up as we moved close enough to be able to see them. That's Kyber, Dr. 280, Dusty and Dankus. Dankus obviously moving across once he got brutally murdered there. He went, fuck it. I'm going to spawn over here and see what I can do. They're going to start putting some pressure on Cal Trail. Chimera don't have too much in the way of defense back, so we'll see how that goes for them. Kyber's going to be nice and close to Heavenly. Let's see whether or not they see each other. There you go, Heavenly taking down Kyber. Wasn't going to have any of that trench action. Dusty is just off to the east there. He's off on Heavenly's flank. All he's got to do is turn around, and he'll be able to see that Heavenly lad moving up through that trench network. What he's not going to do is turn around, though. Heavenly going to slip in behind him. He's going to get out the binoculars, get out your gun, and shoot the guy behind. Nope. That's all right. It's really easy for us to say. Obviously, as commentators, we can see absolutely everything that's going on. These guys don't have that option. Dusty's
they don't have the option of hearing us yell, "Turn around!"
I know the temptation to jump into area chat and just go, turn around, you fucking... Nope, they're on the other team, so they wouldn't hear me anyway. We're good. GBI pushing in a point. A point started to go towards GBI. This is going to be on Chimera. You'd expect to see a spawn wave starting to come back in to try and defend Cal Trail. They don't have anything on point, though. As we were talking about before, nothing on point. They do have garrisons outlying. So instead of a spawn wave getting straight back into defend, you'll see a spawn wave coming from the outlying regions. And even though they've got Dusty there, they will start collapsing back. And the cap is starting to go back Chimera's way. And that's just because they've got enough lads into the zone to try and push back the cap weight. Kyber getting his own back then, taking down a bunch of lads. Barito, I don't know how to say that. My fucking accents are terrible. Don't hate me. If I mispronounce people's names, God damn it, you've got to expect it by now, don't you? Holy crap.
Sometimes you just can't say it, and then half of it's cut off and you're not quite sure what the ending is. Yeah.
Blue, can I get you to keep an eye over Siegfried Line for me? I'll spend most of my time over Cal Trail just because it seems to be flashing backwards and forwards. I don't want to keep an eye on that. But let me know if there's a concerted or sustained push from...
there is a Chimera push from the very north of Siegfried's. It looks like they've got maybe an OP or something up the top there, and they're just going to try and get down, but it looks like Garrybusters have a lot of the ridgeline, so they'll probably just want to try and clear out any garrisons. I'll pull up my map as well. There is no more airhead or garrison down the bottom of Call Trail either. It's just an OP, so maybe Bear's waiting. How many supplies are there? 50. So they may be waiting for their support to spawn in so they can get another garrison up. They are dropping more supplies to the west of Call Trail as well. And it looks like the half track as well up the top has been taken out. So all of their OPs are lighting up. It seems like Chimera's pushed out far enough that they have now stopped the Garrybusters' attack from the north. So I think they're going for an attack from the south, but it has slowed them down on the advanced Call Trail.
Yeah, I'm going to switch back over to my screen. Thank you very much, BlueRoseJelly. I appreciate the living shit out of you. This is what Cal Trail looks at. Have a look at this Chimera defense. They haven't worried. They haven't stressed. They've just put lots of their lads out nice and wide. Electro, I don't know. He just got brutally murdered. He looks like he got chucked in the air. That is going to be the Commander Electro going down. So no more Commander abilities until he can respawn. GBI just started to push in, but as I was saying, Chimera, nice and spread out in that defense, seeing whether they can find some of those Garrybusters spawn points. VK and hidden in something. They're going to push on and get around the back of this. Dr. 220 and Dusty won't be aware that they're behind, but they're going to have to deal with that. It looks like Chimera supplies going down onto that radio tower. God damn it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a goddamn game of Hell Let Loose. I knew this would be a banger. Holy crap, I've been looking forward to this. And BlueRoseJelly, this game has not disappointed so far, has it?
No, it's been really good. Chimera had the midpoint, and they held it really well. They were pushing onto Salient, and then Garrybusters made that push for Siegfried, and then have pushed them back into Call Trail. So now it's the same as what was happening in the beginning, but the other way around. But it looks like because of the distance between Call Trail and Siegfried's, defending it and attacking it has been a lot harder because there's so much more space to travel. Rather than just hopping 2 squares into Salient from Siegfried's, they have to go up and over the hills, and Chimera, depending on where they are, they may have the advantage because they've got the high ground, but then again, on the other side, Garrybusters has just put is that a medium? There's a medium tank, it looks like, that just seems to be shooting up into Call Trail, so that'll make them duck their heads as well from up on that hill. So that seems to be the favored spot there, and just slightly south of that, you have a really good clean line onto the top of the hill of the other points as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just moved back to Siegfried line. There has been a bit of a concerted Chimera push moving up now. They've called for artillery smoke to try and cover that advance up the hill straight into Siegfried line. The Jonatech, obviously he's been one hell of a player, getting brutally murdered. Of course, as soon as I say his name, that's the way these things work. You guys know this by now. Chimera Goose is in the background. Mav is still alive. He's going to be able to take down, I didn't see who that was, Bob Ross being taken down by Mav probably, and Snack the something. It looks like Chimera are making a solid push down this right-hand side, which is the southern end of the match. Good Lord. I'll just remind you guys, we are on a 15-minute delay. So, look, I can't do everything. I've only got 2 cameras. We will look at whatever I find is most interesting at the time. Obviously, we spend a little bit of time looking at artillery because I feel like some of the lads that do artillery don't get shouted out and don't get called out in this match commentary as much as they deserve. Big bombing run doesn't look like it's cleaned up too much stuff, but GBI is going to survive that one. That was the Chimera bombing run.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they maybe got one person, but it didn't look like it got many of them, and I think that was for the garrison in the trench there, but I think it missed that as well. So it looks like they haven't been able to clear out the Garrybusters. Here we go again. Garrybusters garrisons. That's a fun one to say. Those ones will be staying up. The other one is outpost. Yeah, that when they were playing against each other, that you had to say that's 12 times fast. I was like, oh, I can't. Just my English today is not coping.
There you go. Dust, I'm assuming that's Dust Fuhrer, good lord. Taking down the Reaper just there. Being a bit of a Claymore, being a bit of a human Claymore. This point's going to start to go back towards Chimera. It's going to be, Garrybusters is going to need to get some lads back into the point because this Chimera push has been very, very strong. Exactly what you were talking about before, Blue. Coming from that southern side, Yogi Bear into Reaper spawning back in. Snack the Rack is going to try and get back in, but have a look at that Chimera push. It's currently contested. It's going back. This could be anybody's point right now. It's going to come down to gunfights as we say that. Most of the GBI lads dying. Snack the Rack is the last one left alive back in the Siegfried line. Very good push from Chimera.
That big spawn wave from the just north of Siegfried. That's where they've got the garrison. So if they keep spawning there, they'll be able to just proxy hold it and then run into the point. So Chimera will probably want to get some arty in that area so that they can just clean up all the spawn waves while they push in to get that garrison. But unless they get that garrison, I have a feeling pushing into Siegfried is going to be a little bit difficult.
Yep, we just sort of saw some 50-50 gunfights there. Pedro and Dusty are still alive. VK is going to take down Pedro, just as I say his name. Dusty's the last one. He's going to be supported by Dr. 280 and Commodore behind them. They look like they're VK taking down Dusty. Then he gets brutally murdered himself. Just as you called it, Blue. The artillery from Chimera is coming down on that garrison towards the left of your screen. We're seeing that just here. That is the GBI garrison, and that's providing the bulk of the defense. GBI scrambling to get lads back. Dr. 280 is going to move into point. Crackshot and Pell Let Loose are down towards the right of your screen. Big spawn wave from Chimera coming.
It's another airhead. Is that Chimera airhead? It looks like it.
It is a Chimera airhead.
That rocket time to charge, I think, did that rocket. That was close. That just skimmed right over the top of that airhead. But it did miss, and then they've gone down, so 1 to me. But it looks like Pell is holding that airhead. They've really smoked it up, so I have a feeling we're going to see a big spawn wave on this airhead. And it seems to be, let me pull up a map. Yeah, it's right close to the point, so they can just really hop into the circle, and they'll be going for that garrison.
Yep, and that's going to provide that sustained pressure.
On that.
There was 4 that just spawned on that one. None of them died. Butterdog's off to your left. Caledonius, Lupus, and Jonatech. Pell let loose is going to push straight in with Mav in support. Grink is towards the right for GBI. Obviously, he gets brutally murdered. It looks like the artillery is coming down on that airhead. That one's going to be ineffectual. I don't think it got it. Airhead's still up. We're just waiting to see whether or not a spawn wave gets brutally murdered. This point's going back towards Chimera. Good lord, Red 6 is the only one to spawn off that one. Looks like Chimera's pretty happy with the numbers they've got in there. Mav and Pell let loose.
He's up a flare though, because they'll want to. Oh, there he goes down. My guess is he'll probably try and spawn in several times, because having those flares from the spotters, I think, helps so much. It's such a good thing as well, because you learn quite quickly that you can't see recon. You can't see the recon planes if you aren't an officer or a support player and you're not in a tank or recon. So those are the only ones you can see it, but most of the people aren't playing officer or support. So whoop, there goes the Artie. That killed that spawn wave there. And there's a bombing run, and there goes the airhead.
That'll be a GBI bombing run coming in. Dr. 280 is defending that. He's killed Mav, killed VK, just being a bit of a claymore, sitting in that bunker there. He's going to take down... Did he take down somebody else? Maximus. Maximus is going to be outside the trench, moving up on this side. But Dr. 280 absolutely doing some work there, keeping that garrison alive. It will still be locked out, if I'm not mistaken, BlueRoseJelly. But Dr. 280 is going to tank down Maximus. There you go. She has absolutely done some goddamn work there. Big Garrybusters spawn wave.
But it's not locked out anymore. And then I got Caledonius is looking and probably waiting for them to come up that hill. My guess is just chuck a couple of grenades. Just yeet some grenades down there. You'll probably get a couple if they spawn on. But it looks like they are getting deleted by... Is there a Chimera tank up on the hill?
There will be. I can almost guarantee it. It looks like there is a... Looks like it's going to be a heavy. I don't know what sort. I'm not going to get over there to identify it. But, yeah, sitting sort of just south of Cal Trail.
Where is it? Come here, tank. Where are you? Oh, I see. It's hiding right behind the building. Pedro is chill. Are you... Oh, it's got a satchel on it. Okay. So it's a 76, and it's backing up. But Pedro's managed to get a second satchel on a tank, and he's been murdered. My bad. Mugshot's coming in. Crew, you may be... Oh, can you defuse it? I don't think you've got enough time to defuse that. Repairing,
it's going to be close.
And Mugshot.
Is it going to explode?
I don't know. It's tense. Ah,
there he goes! Not enough time. That's the 76 going down. I love a good satchel. That genuinely makes me happy. GG. Well played to those lads. Come and get yourselves another tank. Let's get back over to Siegfried Line. And see what the hell's going on over there. Jesus. Chimera really
would have been shooting into Siegfried and getting them on the garrison, so it's probably aiming for the garrison. But them taking that tank down, it means that Chimera now have to figure out another way to get that garrison, which is still up. It's hot, but it's still up.
Holy shit. Chimera, they're putting a very big concerted push. That sustained pressure that we were talking about before. They're starting to control the sectors outlying of Siegfried Line. GBI just struggling to get the numbers in. They do have a few coming from that garrison you can just sort of see towards the middle of your screen. But Chimera, points started to go towards Chimera. They do have a good lot of lads there. We have some GBI lads jumping up on their flank. It's going to be incumbent on them to move nice and quickly to try and cut off this Chimera supply of troops coming through. Ineffective rocket there. That's not going to do much, but GBI starting to defend now after we got a spawn wave off of that Gary towards your left. Tozzy Bear, Dr. 280 and Yogi Bear off towards your left. PT is free. Jonah, Tech and Lupus are the Chimera lads that are sitting in the middle of the point now. Chimera have got to start pushing them off, otherwise they're going to start struggle to keep that. The Moe, Attila the Nun, and Time to Charge, I don't know, I'm assuming that's what his name, are going to push in from the outside and try and deal with this. The Moe is going to get brutally murdered by Lupus, not going to be effective there. Dr. 280 just dying. Butterdog doing some work, Crackshot, and Caledonius moving in to support the lads that are sitting on point. God damn it. Sweet going down right then. Tozzy is right back, but this point is going to start going towards Chimera unless this line you can see towards the top of your screen from GBI, the red berries that you can see, start moving in. Good Lord. What a goddamn game.
There goes. I was about to say Butterdog's covering that Gary, but not anymore. Tozzy's shot him in the face. I think Chimera have Artie right on that garrison, so they'll probably just keep shelling it, send a couple of rounds. They can't spawn on it. It becomes a useless Gary, which means they can't use it anyway, and you can push in like it's not there, and then you tell Artie, hold on, I'm going for it, and then you go and get it. But it seems like it's pretty covered at the moment.
We're seeing a scrambled defense from GBI. There you go. Caledonia is taking down Murray Mofo, the commander. Well done. Congratulations. That's worth more points. Whilst we're looking at Siegfried Line Blue, can I get you to sweep over and have a look at Caltrail? Is there any sort of GBI attack or pressure being put onto Caltrail at the moment?
Yeah, it seems like there's a squad pushing in on Caltrail. There's a couple of them. It is starting to turn, but there is that is a medium. That is not a Stewart, and it's not a 76, so 75? Not really sure what tank that is. But it's rolled up, so that'll be providing defense for Caltrail. It's just slightly north of it, and it'll just start laying into everything and just shooting everything it sees. I think Dusty's gonna probably mark it and get a bunch of I like to say grapes. If they're in your squad, I like to call them grapes. So they'll want their grapes to spawn in and just start shooting it, maybe satchel it or something. Is there a garrison in the point of Caltrail?
Nothing in the point itself. They've definitely kept to their having outlying garrisons. One just to the east, one to the west, and one to the south currently. Nothing to the north. The closest one they've got to the north is very, very much northwest, more or less in between Mazbak. Can I get you to have a look at that tank, Blue, whilst we switched over to have a look at Siegfried Line again? And just tell me, who's piloting that 75 that we just looked at?
We've got Mugshot, Blackjack, and Unknown Buh is in the tank at the moment. They are facing north, so there is a Garrybusters push from the north. They've got a couple of OPs up there. It looks like it might be one squad and then recon or something. So they'll probably have to come face to face with that tank. It's trying to do a 360, and it's now stuck between a rock, a tree, and a pile of bags. Oh, nope, it's free.
I was worried we're going to have an Austin Powers moment, backwards and forwards, doing the 3-point turn. But there you go. Well done for getting that one free, lads. Let's move over to my screen. Black Duster, Tozzy, Bear, and Squishy Boots, they're going to be pushing in and trying to defend. Butterdog is going to do some work there. Looks like Kenoshi's going to... Butterdog, obviously getting brutally murdered. There you go. Jonatech, Lupus, and Caledonius are going to move in. They're going to provide the front for Chimera, but very good defense from GBI. Well done, lads, pushing back into point. What they really need to do now is start taking control of this and start taking control of some of the outlying sectors. There you go. That's that house we were talking about before. It looks like they've got a sniper from Chimera. Just sort of content to sit up in that building. Sweet. And Snack the Rack is going to cruise around there. There we go. A roadie just dying, which was the Chimera sniper. VK is going to sit down and wait for them to come to him. What's he going to do? Is he trying to put down something? He's not. He's going to get on the side of Sweet. Sweet not looking the right way, even though the shot. Looks like VK was just trying to get either a bandage off or an OP built. Snack the Rack's going to take down VK. Good spawn wave there we've just seen from GBI. And there's a Panther that's going to walk into support of those buildings. We're going to talk by walk. I, of course, mean drive. That's going to be Blue V, Richie, and Lycagon. They've taken a rocket. There you go. That is 2 Panthers. That's a terrifying sight on the battlefield. The Panther's a bit on fire, but his mate Grink is going to jump in and get some reps done. This one is going to be Gekiganger, Jabiru, and Kaldahan. Look at that. That's Panther. That is 2 Panthers. And that's a sight that will terrify literally any tanker and any infantryman in this game. That is a horrendous sight to be looking. But as we've been talking, Chimera's pushed in. As I say that, all the ones that had pushed in get brutally murdered. Jonatech, Kanonoshi, and PTS Free are going to move up. Tozzy's off to the left. He's the sniper. Bear's going to get brutally murdered. Reaper, Murray Mofo, Yogi Bear, and Squishy Boo. They're providing the bulk. This is still a scramble defense. 18 minutes. We're under 20 minutes left to go in this. Chimera with all the work to do to take back the midpoint. Jonatech going down there. The Murray moving up. Kanonoshi. Somebody take down Euphoric. But Sweet's going to be in support. Lupus towards the middle of your screen from the Chimera. The Blueberries, obviously Chimera. Murray Mofo, the commander, taking down one of the Chimera lads there. He's probably going to get murdered by Pale Let Loose if he doesn't turn around and start dealing with it.
Maybe. Is he?
Nope.
Nope. Maybe he's protected by a sandbag. I see blood, but what's happening? They throw a couple of grenades. Well, maybe they don't. Oh, spotter. They may not have grenades. They are taking. Well, I was gonna say Reaper's sneaking up on him, but Reaper is not sneaking up on Pell anymore. Murray Mofo has turned around, and it has. Well, that's one for me. It has been taken down by Pell. As we speak, and they seem to be pushing up. I think is that Garrybusters. Yep, that Garrybusters garrison is still up in that trench just north of Siegfried. So it looks like they're going, just really making a big push and trying to get that, because if they get that, there isn't another garrison close. There's a bunch of OPs, but that's the garrison that is holding Siegfried. So if they can take that down, then I think they'll manage to flip the point.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. God damn it. What a goddamn game, Blue. This is still anybody's. We just saw the point go back towards Chimera just a little bit there. Just getting my chat bot up so you guys can have a look at a bit of Discord action. You know how it is. Just looking at your screen whilst I get this sorted, Blue. What are we looking at? This looks like the GBI, lads. Just sort of
it looks like the Chimera tank has pushed up and is now firing into the point. So I have a feeling it's going to fire at that garrison. Just over there to the right of the screen. So it'll want to just pepper that with shots and get any sort of spawn waves cleared out. And then they'll probably want to put pressure on that. A call trail is also flicking in and out. It seems like there's a couple in the circle, but I think they have, Chimera have a presence there. Maybe, I'm not sure. They may have put everything onto the attack because it is starting to flop.
Oh, I've just switched over there. It does look like the bulk of the squad is going to be, it's 4 lads from GBI pushing up. Heavenly is going to be defense for Chimera. Electro, the commander, with McFly in support on your right-hand side of your screen. Grand off the white, he's going to be a little ways away, but he's going to be in support eventually. Candy Rocks and Bayerito are going to start getting in there. Dankus doing some work, friend of the stream, Dankus, and a damn good streamer himself, and Kyber. This point is absolutely going towards Garrybusters, but I'll tell you what, we're currently in a cap race because it looks like Chimera have started to take Siegfried line. I don't know which way this one's going to go. GBI do have a good bunch of lads in the point, but it's going to come down to gunfights, and Chimera's going to have to get back and defend this. Otherwise, they're going to start struggling. It looks like Siegfried line was starting to be capped by Chimera, but it is now being defended by Garrybusters. What a goddamn match! 15 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this match. Blue, would you call this match? If I was to ask you, would you call which way this match is going to go?
I don't think so. There's 15 minutes, so you can take it back. You can take it back, what is it, 2 minutes per point? So you can take it back in about 6 minutes, I think. That, I wouldn't call anything before the last 5 minutes because you'd never know which way it's going to go. And Chimera have just had a spawn wave on Call Trail. They've got a garrison, looks like at the front of Call Trail, somewhere there. And there's been a big spawn wave there, and they're just pushing in. So they're taking the point back. And it looks like they'll probably do that line again and push in and clear out all of the Garrybusters in there. And as I say that, 3 of them have gone down. So it looks like they're holding the point. There's an airhead dropping. That's a Garrybusters airhead straight onto the point. I have a feeling it may not work just because there's a second Chimera spawn wave as well. They'll want to push in and hold that point, and they'll probably go and clear that out. PT is free. Looks like they're making a beeline for that airhead as well.
Ooh, let's jump over. Let's have a look at the airhead and just make sure we're not missing any of that.
Yeah, PT is free. They've taken down Dr. 208 and it's currently taken down the garrison there. So they'll want to, that stops the Garrybusters push on Call Trail. So Chimera will probably just gather together and then just do another push onto Siegfried's. I think they really have this well defended, even though they've had it blink a couple of times.
Yep, Garrybusters looks like they've
back.
Looks like Garrybusters look like they're sitting nice and deep. Bless you, BlueRoseJelly. So what we're looking at is it does look like Chimera, definitely the call to defend came back. Garrybusters sitting nice and deep. But what I do like to see, and this is what we weren't seeing before, is them pushing out from point and starting to control those outlying areas. Most of the Chimera push looks like it's coming from the north of the map now, which is sort of down the valley and down the river. There are still 13 minutes left to go in this match, so they do have time to reset up that assault on Siegfried line. They've got time to gather themselves and figure out how they're going to assault GBI. They tried the sustained push before from the west of the map. It did mostly work, and they did start to cap it sometimes, but a good scrambling defense by Garrybusters has meant that they're doing very, very well. God damn it, ladies and gentlemen. Holy crap, what a match. And this is why we goddamn do this. This is why we do this. To see matches like this, goddamn, it is a goddamn pleasure. Whew.
They have Garrybusters have a one outpost out the back of Coal Trail, and I thought they were doing a clown car, but it doesn't look like they are because the squad leader has spawned in. So it looks like they've just got one squad constantly spawning on this OP just to kind of put pressure on Coal Trail. Because if Chimera leave the area, they'll be able to proxy cap and start putting pressure on. But there's a bunch. Whoop! Don't mark the map. Whoop! There goes a Garrybusters. Garrybusters garrison, down south of Siegfried. So it looks like they're pushing in. One of the garrisons is protected by 2 heavy tanks. So I think that one may stay for a while. So they're probably going to push from the north. It looks like. Are they pushing in from the north of Siegfried?
They are pushing in from the north, and that was that spawn wave that came back to defend Caltrail before. It looks like they've sort of stuck together and going to provide this whole northern flank for this Chimera assault on Siegfried line. But Garrybusters, they've done really well, and they've pushed off to this side, and they're starting to get around it. That said, GBI Sweet's got some work to do because he's going to murder Milk as soon as we say that. Well done. Electro just dying. I don't know whether he died or got redeployed. But Butterdog, one hell of a good Chimera lad, is going to be up on the flank. GBI, they're going to have to deal with this. Caltrail was going back towards Garrybusters then. Chimera, what do you do here? Do you put everything on offense? Because it looks like they've tried to do that a couple of times, but Garrybusters making them pay for it. Dankus doing some work on offense. Doctor number 280. Good Lord, Bear going down towards the top of your screen. Dusty's going to push off on that flank. Good spread out defense and good scrambling defense from a Chimera is going to hold on to the point. But I'll tell you what, that pressure from GBI, it means that Chimera just can't put everything onto the attack. That said, if they don't take the middle point, they lose the game. So I do wonder whether or not they just go, fuck it, everybody on offense, let's roll them up, and they steamroll the middle within the last 10 minutes of the match, which is coming up. Mav and VK
I think so. That garrison that we've been, I'm about to say, that garrison we've been talking about constantly has just been taken out. So I think that was Mav taking out the garrison just north of Siegfried. So Chimera will probably be doing a push from here and just kind of getting into the point. VK taking out, who was that? Can't see your name.
Squishy 800.
And taking out, Reaper's taken them out, but they took out Yogi Bear and clearing out the point. Reaper is not an officer. They can't put the garrison back up. So I have a feeling Chimera, this is going to be where the Chimera start to push into the point.
Yeah, I think you could be right. We've just gone under 10 minutes in this match. Still anybody's match, but Chimera making some very good inroads. Crackshot and Mav, neither of them, that is a rifleman and a support lad, so neither of them can provide support spawn points. But Garrybusters, you'd like to see them spawning back in. Let's see where the bulk of their forces are. Yep, they're starting to push in. Yogi Bear, Murray Mofo, and the Moe are pushing in from the right-hand side of your screen, which is the south of the map. They're going to try and clear out this Chimera attack. Mav's going to take down Yogi Bear. Squishy Boo something. They're going to take down Mav himself. Mav, very good name. But we've seen some very good things from him, Blue. If I was going to ask you now, who would be your man of the match so far in this game?
I'm going to say Pedro, because I've seen them put on... they did 2 satchels that I saw. One didn't make it and one worked, and then I saw them running again for another tank, but then got taken out by a support player. So they've been doing some work with the satchels, just like hunting those tank down. So that would be my call for now.
Oh, they're doing God's work with the satchel, aren't they? Satchel, obviously, everyone loves to see one. Obviously, everyone likes to see tanks getting blown up by satchels, except for the many, many tankers that hang around this stream and are probably hating me for saying exactly that. Kingsy is, I've just seen, Kingsy has just defriended me. We're no longer friends because I said bad things about tanks.
Gotta get in trouble.
8.5 minutes left to go in this game. Garrybusters look like they have managed to get back and defend. Can I ask, what's the garrison situation for Garrybusters looking like? We'll switch over to your screen and have a look at the map because there's been a bit of a lull.
I'm looking at a garrison in G6. I'm looking at a garrison in F7. I'm looking at a garrison in G8 as well. And the garrison in F8 is hot. It looks like someone was almost about to take it out, but it seems like I'm flying over a couple of Chimera players at the moment. So if we have a look at where they are there, and then I pull up the map to see where I am, they're sweeping in the back. So they've taken out the garrison at the top of Siegfried's, and they're just coming round the back. And my guess is they want to clear out all the garrisons. Once those garrisons go down, they've only got OPs, and then they're just going to put everything in and then do a massive spawn wave. That garrison they just put up at the top of Siegfried line as well has gone hot and then not hot again. So it looks like Chimera know that they're there, and they're just pushing in from the north and sweeping in and getting all the garrisons.
Yeah, good lord. Very good defense from GBI. Coming up to 7 minutes left in this match. Chimera is going to have to make a push. Can I get you? I'll stick around Siegfried line, Blue Rose. If I can get you to have a look at Cal and just see whether or not GBI is going to put some continued pressure up there, or whether they're going to drag all their lads back to defend this middle point. Big spawn wave from GBI. It's going to get sorted out by one of the lads. I didn't see who got that. Probably PTS free. Probably got them. He's going to take down Bob Ross, though. Time to charges up there. Good lord. Everybody in chat, get up and about it. Use those emotes. Tell me who you think's going to win. God damn it, boys and girls. I don't want to call. I am not calling it from here. Until we get down to, I'm sure this could go absolutely either way. Chimera, very big wave and a good battle line coming up from the north of the map. That's the blueberries we're looking at here. They're pushing in nice and fast. The ones up on the side of the hill are pushing in under the cover of smoke. Bear's going to be aware that people are around there. It's going to be incumbent on him to do some defense, which he absolutely will, taking down Rhodey and Jonatek. Gotrek is going to be in a little bit behind. But Bear's going to use that smoke to push up on the flank. But not enough, because he's going to get killed by probably either Crackshot or Das Fure or something. Mav, Maximus, and Goose are going to push. Caltrail. Is Caltrail just started to be taken by GBI there?
It looks like there's a bombing run going over the point. That is Garrybusters. It looks like it may be going for that Chimera garrison. Did they take out the garrison on Caltrail?
Let me have a look. We're looking at your camera right now. There was never a garrison on Caltrail. Chimera have defended Caltrail primarily with outlying garrisons, and that's why we've seen GBI push nice and deep into the point before there is a good spawn wave from Chimera pushing back to try and defend it. We're just seeing this the results of this flank by Chimera now. So pushing back over to my screen. 5 minutes and 25 seconds left on this one. That is a Greyhound. The little ballsy Greyhound that could. That is They and Gangbang. What a goddamn name. They're going to be pushing up with the light armor. Obviously, the light armor has... it has armor like paper mache, but I'll tell you what, it's a good point. If there are no AT lads to be able to deal with that, so the Reaper's the last one there. That's Greyhound's going to push on and do whatever Greyhounds do. Scribs up on the right. Maximus and Gotrek just pushing in towards the left of your screen there. Good lord, Garrybuster's still defending. Caltrail is flicking backwards and forwards between contested, defending. God.
They seem to be going for that point. My guess is Garrybusters is going to be trying to make a good push on Caltrail, and Chimera will be trying to make that really big push onto Siegfried to take it, because it is the winning point, and they have 4 minutes, so they can do it.
They absolutely can. If GBI gets the jump on them, if Chimera takes too many troops off and makes us onto this attack onto Siegfried line, they could be in a bit of trouble. GBI, it looks like they've started to take Caltrail again. If you're flying over there, Blue Rose Jelly, I'll just flick over to you, and let's have a look at Caltrail for me. And just see what this, obviously the blueberries in your screen when we're looking at Blue Rose are the GBI team. They've started to take Caltrail. Chimera, I don't know, they might have taken too many lads off onto the offense. Under 4 minutes left to go in the game. It started to be defended by Chimera again. So let's move over to Siegfried and see what's going on over here. God damn it, ladies and gentlemen. What a goddamn game of Hell Let Loose. This is fucking huge. I'll tell you what, Blue. The APAI, this tournament, has been turning it on for us. The quality of games we've been seeing over the last few weeks has been like nothing else I've ever casted in Hell Let Loose. And I've done some of the competitions around the place. I've done a lot of friendlies. This has been one hell of a goddamn match, sister.
Oh yeah, for sure. We've seen Chimera kind of had the jump on Garrybusters at the beginning. They were really holding that midpoint. They had the advantage because they could just kind of walk through into the next point. But I think the distance between Siegfried's and Cold Trail has given Garrybusters an advantage and a disadvantage to defending, where sometimes it can be an advantage with the distance. So it seems like they've just had a really good number of garrisons and OPs up for Garrybusters, and they're really getting into Cold Trail and putting pressure on Chimera. And the point is half flip. So unless Chimera starts taking and defending at the same time right now, I think it might flip.
Just as we're speaking, we're seeing some smoke, some arty smoke going down onto Siegfried line. It did flick backwards and forwards to be contested a couple of times. Chimera's asked for artillery exactly in the right spot there, so we'd expect that to start coming in. But the point over at Caltrail is being taken by Garrybusters. Chimera's going to have to get back and deal with this. We'll flick over there to just see what's going on the main screen. It's just the four of them. The four of them are taking this point. Electro, the commander, Burrito, Lupus, they're trying to push back in and deal with this. Garrybusters, if they can manage to take this point, this will absolutely seal this game. It's almost done anyway.
I think you've got the game anyway. It's only 2 minutes and Chimera don't have a push on Siegfried. So I think... What? There it goes. As I say that, I think Garrybusters have the midpoint, but I don't think they're going to get Cold Trail. I think Chimera is going to pull back and try and keep those 2 points from them.
There you go. Caltrail is going to be taken.
Huge spawn wave.
Garrybusters, have a look at that. Look at that defense over Siegfried line. I think, Blue, I think we can probably call it from here. I think this is a Garrybusters. Chimera can't take if they haven't started capping at the 2 minute mark, Chimera cannot take this point, especially if there's some reinforcers and whatnot. This is a huge win from Garrybusters. An absolutely huge win, making their mark in the APAI by taking down one of the biggest and best teams in the OCE region. Blue, I'm going to be honest, when I started watching this game today, I was not expecting this. Very good game from GBI.
Yeah, it is. Chimera are known for their 50v50s. I think having a 35v35 puts them on a back foot a little bit, just because they can't use the numbers to steamroll like they usually do. And they've actually got to use their players in attack and defense rather than going, yeah, we'll keep, 2 squads on the point to defend and then everyone else attack, and unless we need people to fall back. So it seems like there's a lot of tactics that happen in the 35s, and it seems like you've got to decide whether you attack or defend, because you can't do both. You can't have 2 squads defending because then you don't have the numbers on attack. And it's like, this is where people go, are we doing it? Are we going all in and then hoping it pays off, or are we not doing that? So the plays have been fantastic.
I think that's a very good point. Obviously, these teams flicking between playing these 35v35 in API and 49s, they are essentially different games. This has been a cracker of a match. I always love a match that goes the distance. I always love a match where the center point and the midpoint gets capped backwards and forwards. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. As we watch the last 5 seconds, we're going to go through some of the stats so you can look at how some of the lads did. That is a GBI win over one of the big boys, Chimera. I'm going to scroll through these. BlueRoseJelly, let's give a commendation out. Can I get you to think of who you want to give man of the match to, sister?
I'm going to say Pedro, just because of the tank satchel plays. Seeing a couple of them, seeing a couple that didn't pay off, and then a couple that getting killed for it, but the satchel's still going off. So I think that would be my vote.
Yep, I'm going to give mine to none other than Heavenly from Chimera. We saw him in all of the action. We saw some damn good plays from him, and it was a goddamn pleasure. We've got one of the Chimera lads jumped into the transfer room. So what I'm going to do is we'll have a bit of a chat. Put your face on, Blue, because we're going to have a little bit of a post-match chat with some of the lads. Hopefully we get one of the boys from GBI. I'll just finish scrolling through some of these, and we're going to flick back over to the screen. Whew.
Fantastic. I love the post-match chat. It's nice to hear from people who are like, yeah, that was stressful or whatever it was, especially when you see a couple of plays. It's like, tell me about this point and what happened. So that's interesting. I like how everyone likes to see their scores at the end. That's also very good. Just making sure they did really well.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a big win from GBI. Blue, what a fucking match. That was crazy. I love that. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I did. I love these things. These are so good to see, and to see the teams playing. And the more I cast, the more times I'm casting the same teams again, and then I go, oh yeah, they did this tactic last time, and this seems to be their style. So I'm picking up on the styles of people. So it's really good to see how they change that from 50s to 35s to different types of friendlies and stuff like that. See what they do.
Oh man, and just watching the different ways people approach this game is absolutely amazing. I'm going to drag up some of the team reps and let's have a chat to the boys. Blue, let's go with Lucas.
Fantastic.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Joining us for some post-match chats, we have none other than Bear from GBI and Lupus from Chimera. Boys, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, mate.
Can I just say firstly to both of you, that was a fucking cracking match. From casting that was genuinely amazing. So thank you very much to both of you.
No, thank you for casting it. That was a fucking rough match. GBI put up a hell of a fight and gave us what for.
Dude, I might actually start with you, Lupus, as our representative from the Chimera. We did see you in the game, mate. Obviously, a bit of a rough loss, especially you guys started so goddamn strong at the start of that match. I remember watching this and casting it going, holy crap, this is going to be another one of those classic Chimera steamrolls that you've been doing. They're just going to take point after point. You guys were amazing at the start of the match, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, we worked on that start. Like that's some of the stuff that you've really got to get down pat, and we've been working on that. And beyond that, as the game went on, like we were trying a new system, trying a few new things, and obviously it didn't work. And as I was saying to Bear just before, like they were more than good enough to capitalize on our errors, of which there were a few. But regardless, the best team won today, that's for sure.
Yeah, and look, I think I was saying it before, Chimera, absolutely one of the big boys in the OCE community when it comes to Hell Let Loose. You guys have been doing some absolutely brilliant stuff in the international community and at home as well. You can't win them all. We were sort of saying, though, that there is a big difference between playing these 49v49s up against playing the 35v35s that we're playing today. Does the team struggle to sometimes adjust between those two? Does that sort of account for some of it, do you think?
Well, I think to a degree, yes, but at the same time, the other team's playing the same system. So it's not like we're at a disadvantage or anything. You do find that you're trying to cover more ground with fewer people. So there's more holes, which is a big thing that you try to stop. You don't want to have any gaps in your line and that sort of thing. But there were gaps everywhere, and where there was a gap, there was a GBI player.
Yeah, and look, all credit to you guys. You did play one hell of a match. There were parts of that match that I have no idea how GBI pulled it back, but they do. So, look, genuinely, bad luck on the loss, my guy, but genuinely well done. That was one of the best matches I've ever cast, so thank you.
Yeah, mate, appreciate it.
Bear, we'll jump on to you, my guy. Firstly, congratulations. Are you fucking stoked?
Yeah, man. The excitement in the change rooms is bouncing. Everyone's cracking open their beers, taking shots. You name it, mate. We're going wild.
Fucking oath. As I'd expect.
Think someone dropped their pants and there's just horsecocks all around.
Can I just say a quick thank you? I'm glad I actually got to read people's names on stream today. It wasn't just horsecock left, right, and center.
Oh yeah, no, that's all right. I thought the horsecock's kind of self-evident in those names now. So
it's just on the end that we can't see, so it's all good.
Excellent. Congratulations, mate. That was one hell of a match. What do you think went really well for you? Like, what was your favorite part of this match, and where do you think the lads really won it for you?
So right off the bat, we had a very unfortunate start. I'm not sure if you managed to see it on stream, but Chimera sniped our trucks, like two of our trucks, or blocked our path right into the point. They had an amazing start, but we formed a very, very solid line, and we were able to sort of keep them at bay, hold our line. We got a very sneaky Gary in the back with that we surged on, and that's how he took it. But like
we were watching that one in the north of Cal Trail, and that was delicious. Your lads took full advantage of that, moved off it as quick as you'd expect of a team of your caliber, and dude, you guys just played so fucking well. Took advantage of like every little weak spot you found. So genuinely well done, my guy.
Yeah, boys, like they really played to what they were assigned. Like, we held every angle that we could. We made sure that no one was out of position. We really focused on our sector control, and just all those key areas. And yeah, we delivered that today. So very proud.
And some of your scrambling defenses of Siegfried were like second to none. I don't know how some of you lads lived. I don't know how they did as much murder as they did, but genuinely, all credit to you. You played one hell of a watch. Once again, congratulations, my dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Chimera really gave us a scare a few times there on Siegfried. Like, like their surges straight west, like pushing up the guts right through the RD and the bombs, like to get on our strong point. Like they had us on the back fence, like pretty much the entire game. So it was, it was the toughest fight that we've ever had. But yeah, really lucky to come out with that
absolutely win. All credit to Chimera. I'll wrap it up. Thank you very much, both Lupus and Bear, for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much for that match, lads.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for casting, mate. Appreciate it.
Nah, anytime. It's my pleasure, and you guys know it. We'll start wrapping things up here. Obviously, that was a 3-2 win, going GBI's win over Chimera. What a cracking match. It's been a goddamn pleasure to have you guys watching today. A goddamn pleasure. Blue, thank you very much for casting with me today.
That's all right. These are so much fun. I like to see what people do, because sometimes it's like I can take what they've done here and take it into a pub match and I'll be okay. I might not get shot in the face as much. So that's always good to see. But it's just so much fun. I enjoy this so much. So the APAI is going really well, and I think we've got 2 games tomorrow, another on Monday, and then I think there's 3 more weeks, something like that. I'd have to double check. So there's a lot more games coming up, so that'll be exciting to see where everyone goes. I have a feeling everyone will get a win under their belt, and then it'll just depend on who's getting the most points and stuff like that. So we'll see who's going to the next round.
Oh, it's exciting. So thank you very much to BlueRoseJelly. You can go catch her over at twitch.tv/BlueRoseJelly. Go give her a follow because she's a wonderful human. And as I said, one of the best co-casters you will ever meet. And thank you to all you guys. Thank you for the teams that play. Thank you for all the viewers. Thanks for all the support. I have seen all the subs. Obviously, we're on a 15-minute delay, so I don't always get to respond as much as I'd normally. Thank you for all the bits. I appreciate the living shit out of you guys. Stick around after this because we'll go raid somebody from the Hell Let Loose community. There's always somebody. We'll go find you somebody good to go play with. But I like to finish all my casts like this. Ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. If you can manage to do that, see if you can't look after somebody else too. I'll see you guys next match cards, and I'll look forward to it because goddamn, these are fucking fun. Bye.